What's going on, Jerome? So the Minnesota Fighting Vikings and edge rusher Danielle Hunter found a compromise on a revised one-year contract, and now Danielle will join free agent Marcus Davenport as one of the better up-and-coming edge rushing duos in the league. Knock on all the wood if both can stay healthy. And Danielle is back at training camp, participating in his first team practice. Talk about practice, man. And afterwards, he was asked about his status with the Vikings, and Hunter said this, quote, "I want to be a Viking forever," end quote. So that just gets it right here. Gotta love it, man. And the whole thing about it is Danielle and Kwesi, they work things out, and Danielle Hunter is still one of the top edge rushers in the game. He is only 28, going to be 29 in October, and he can still bring it. Like, he still certainly has the capability of being a top edge rusher, and he proved last year that he can stay healthy. He proved last year that he's scheme agnostic, even though Flores is going to put him in a spot where he can primarily be a hand-the-dirt defensive end and rushing the passer, which you do love to see, as opposed to him dropping back into coverage. But the question is why? Why didn't the Vikings work out a long-term deal with him this offseason or in training camp during his hold-in? I mean, there's a lot of variables right now, but a couple of factors in terms of extending the deal long-term. So cap-wise, they're about at $18.8 million this year. They're at about $38 million and change next year, and also they do have an additional $14.5 million of Danielle Hunter salary cap hit incoming, TBD, if that's going to be all taken on the chin this year or spread out or added void years, etc. They do have a potential $2 million rebate from Dalvin if and when he does sign somewhere that's over $2 million. The Vikings did have $2 million of his guaranteed. That's dead on the 2023 cap, but if he signs somewhere, that will be rebated next year. And also remember, any cap space left over from this year gets rolled over to next year, but you do also have looming deals for Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson, although a long-term deal with TJ could lower his $9 million and change cap hit this year. So also a long-term deal for Christian Darrisaw could be in the works upcoming, and also the potential return for Kirk Cousins. Although, if Kirk does return, that means his void years cap hit goes from $28.5 million next year to something more reasonable. So that's something to keep in mind as well. But also factor in, does Marcus Davenport show out this year on his one-year deal? Do the Vikings roll with him or the development of the other young edge rushers? Looking at Patrick Jones second, looking at DJ Wanham, looking at who is in a free agent year himself, or Andre Carter the second. Like, do guys like Jones or Carter really develop where you feel okay moving on from Danielle Hunter in free agency next year? But also you have they didn't do it now. So that is the question mark of where they're currently at. But if this is a sort of compromise where Danielle, he did get a one-year $17 million deal with up to $3 million in sack incentives, so $20 million compensation, ties him with Von Miller for 8th in terms of highest paid edge rushers by average. And if Danielle comes in, has a phenomenal season, has 12.5 sacks, is in the top 7, 8 in the league in pressures, leading the team, and he's great in Brian Flores' scheme, and maybe Brian Flores sticks around for another year. I mean, we could be talking about 25, 26, 27 million per year, especially since Danielle is still going to be in the thick of his prime. And I think that like a 3-year extension with Danielle certainly would be reasonable, where they take him through his age 32 season, which at that point, I think it would be time to reassess. As you see guys like Khalil Mack hit 32, guys like Von Miller a couple years past 32, Cam Jordan is 34. So that's about the line of demarcation, 32, 33 when it comes to those edge rushers when production starts to dip. But I do think that Danielle, he again proved he can stay healthy with the herniated disc in his neck. The torn pec isn't an issue, was fully good to go last year. I think that he can return to where he was a double-digit consistent sack guy, mid-double digits as well. And I think that would make sense for Danielle Hunter long-term. And I think that him being a Viking forever, I wouldn't be opposed to it, because I know what you're saying. Well, just move on from him or blah, 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 or otherwise we'll do the contracts on dance every time next year. Not necessarily. And also, you be drafting a guy hoping that he's 10% of Danielle Hunter. Like, we're hoping that Andre Carter II is 30% of Danielle Hunter. We're hoping that Marcus Davenport, the free agent, is half of Danielle Hunter. That's what you're doing, man. So you have one of the best edge rushers in the game who loves being here, who's going to be a key cog in Brian Flores' defense this season, that's going to be built around 99, and he wants to be here. So even though you got other mouths to feed, I think you certainly could work something out because Hershey covers the mouth. Anyways, your thoughts are thoughts. Danielle Hunter says that he wants to be a Viking forever. Let's know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.